have your hand kind of out and spread apart. Have their wrist in a normal position, and then have the fingers spread clear apart. Okay, because again, you start relaxing, and then it's gonna be, you're just gonna squish their hand. Okay, so when I do that, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just come around the wrist. I'm gonna come through the palm. Okay. Now, if I was to tape a wrist and wrist only, that's all I'd probably have to do, okay? But I'm going to add the wrist and the thumb together, okay? So now I'm going to come up, kind of like we did the spica on the turf toe. Okay? You guys remember the first time trying to do the spicas on the thumb, or the toes. Okay? So then once I do that, my next step, that was the first step, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was the second.
Then pre-wrap.
Yeah. Okay, so now the next one is we're going to go around here. So I don't care whether you go lateral to medial. I think it says lateral to medial there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're saying come this opposite way. I just pull out enough that, you get enough here. And this is where it's going to be important. You come through the palm. Now, when I come through the palm, I'm just going to take the inside of the thumb, so I'm not going to be cutting into the web. See how I just did that? You see that, Aaron? Right here, I just kind of fold it back on itself. Okay? And again, when I do this, I'm going to grab a hold right now and pull out and then lay it. Because if I was just right here and then I tried to pull the tape, unroll the tape from here, I'm just going to squish their hand. So there's one way to try and help yourself out is I just pulled some out so I could do that. Okay? Now I'm going to come around.
So you purposely squished it, but then...
Yes.
Okay.
All you're doing is trying to help from digging in, okay? So that's going to be considered the wrist, or the portion. I'm not completely done, so now what I want to do is I'm going to do another one, okay?
So will these, the hand and wrist and thumb, those will be two different...
You're going to do, if you pick this tape job, it's going to be the wrist and thumb together, okay? I'm just showing you two different tape jobs, but all it is the wrist, and then you throw that thumb into it, because the thumb you do the wrist also, okay? So the other one, where the bone is, I'm going to take this strip, and I'm just going to put it right there, and again, I'm going to tuck this little portion in, and again, I'm pulling the tape out, okay? So that's pretty much my wrist, okay? So hopefully what I'm doing is I'm just putting a little bit of security there, maybe a little bit of motion there, maybe a little bit there, okay? Does that make sense? So that's just the wrist. Now I'm going to move on to the thumb. Okay, it's talking about the what does it say on 5?
5-3 thumb spikas by splitting the tape down the middle, start in the back of the wrist, crossing over the empty joint of the thumb, wrap around the thumb, and recross the empty joint ending on the front of the wrist.
Okay. When I do this, okay, this is the joint we're trying to protect, so that X is going to go kind of right there on this joint, okay? This is the joint we're looking at, okay? Where the X, we're going to try and... So, make sure when you do that, that you're getting that X up there where it needs to be at. So, what...
Similar technique to turf toe.
Yes, yes. So this is how I do this. It says continue. You can do this continuously. I just rip them, okay? Now what I'm going to do, this kind of long piece, I'm going to come here, and I'm just going to try and cross that joint. Yeah, that's kind of a long one. And you notice how I pulled the thumb in. I laid that first because usually what's the mechanism of injury? My thumb getting yanked out. So if I put that tape to pull the thumb in a little bit and then just lay the back one, then I'm hoping that will help me out. And make sure that you got these long enough that it's, and you can feather these a little bit, span them out.
Now does it matter which, you go the medial one first?
That's right, man. I just did that wrong. I want you to go the medial first and then lateral. I just got done telling you that and I did it wrong. Sorry, guys.
You want to pull the thumb.
You want to pull the thumb in a little bit or have pressure in, because usually what happens is that thumb is getting yanked down. That's how you've injured it. Okay. So if you lay the first one in, that's going to have that slight, pressure inward.
So do it the way you're doing it all.
The first one I did right. The second one, you're going to lay here first and then lay the second one there.
Okay.
I'll do it right this time. I messed up. I apologize. I led you astray there.
It's the same as the turf toe.
Same as turf toe. So I'm here. I'm going to lay the ball. I'm going to lay it in. So now I'm putting pressure coming in. Okay. And then I'm just coming back here. Okay. So I'm hopefully having this X across this joint is where I want to have it. Okay. Okay. Now my next thing it says to do, it says C strips, right? Okay, so when I do the C strips, again, which way is my mechanism of injury? Usually it's from here pushing out. So when I do the C's, start the back of the hand and work in. Work to the palm. Okay? And get these anchors right here. This can, when you get your C's, come out far enough too, okay? That it gets on the tape. Going through the palm and on the back hand. Okay, so how high do I need to go with this? I'd say I'd probably want to come maybe just a little bit higher than that. That one's kind of like on the verge of I could make it work or not. But I'm just going to go one more. I'd rather see one more. Okay, when I do that, if I come up a little bit higher,
You have like a webbing in there.
I'll show you. I'll get you squared away, my friend. I'm not going to make you too far astray. Look what I just did. Okay? It's not as bad. All I did is I just pinched it right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so, I mean, you still have a little bit. Okay, now I've just done that. So when I've done these C strips, that's going to help protect this joint down here. Okay? You know, to help prevent that. And you're also protecting this. Okay? So once I've done that, now I got to go back and redo what I did on the wrist. Okay? So, again, come around.
When we say lateral and medial, is that like in anti position? Is it like their hand shaking your hand like this? Like
This is lateral. This is medial right now. Look, I mean, as I'm doing it.
That's
Okay?
how he's holding the hand.
alright.
Okay. Okay, and this one you're only doing one because the one purpose that this last one serves is to cover up all those C strips. Okay. So now the other thing I want you to look at is, see your thumb, Jason. Come look at the difference there on the thumbs. Am I a little tight? Yeah. So, the thing you have to be very, very careful about is when you do this, if you really reef it on that, you're going to get around their thumb and it's going to get tight and then it's going to turn purple. So you always have to keep in mind that. That's one of the things I look for too, is that you don't get too tight. Make sure that they got capillary refill after you're done. So if you can pinch it and your thumb goes white and then it fills back up with blood, then know you're getting that capillary refill. Okay? Excuse me, guys. So first thing, you're gonna go around the wrist through the palm, and I'm just tucking in right there. And I'm gonna start it on the outside, come through the palm, around. That serves the wrist. Now I'm gonna start doing for the thumb. Rip my strips in half. I'm gonna have them long enough. I'm going to come here, I'm going to place the one coming in on the medial side first, then I'm just going to lay the other one. Do 3 of those. And when I do those 3, I'm trying to cover this joint right here, and you can kind of span them out, get your X right here on this joint. And then once you've done that, then you're going to do your C strips, and you're going to come from the back of the hand and come to the palm, okay? You're going to work your way up, and then when you do that, I want you to come up above that knuckle a little bit, okay? So if it's not there and you question how high to go, just say right above that joint, okay? Once I've done that, then I'm going to retrace and do the wrist again, and then I'm completely done. Do you guys want me to go through that?